Oh, erroneous notions about karma yoga. Okay, we're gonna, please everybody, I'm just delivering bad news, don't shoot me. Okay? I'm a good guy, I'm gonna give bad news. Everybody here has heard of karma yoga, haven't they? Mm-hmm. Raise your hand if you haven't. Oh, okay, only one person. Good. You're lucky. Because the prevailing notion about karma yoga, and this is one we got to debunk here, is that karma yoga is selfless service. Huh? You heard that? Huh? Karma yoga is selfless service. But what's wrong with that notion? What's wrong with that notion? There's only the self, isn't there? So every action is done for the sake of the self, isn't it? Every action is done is done by the grace of the self and for the sake of the self. Now in this case, the reflected self, the ego, the jiva, is meant to what? Do this kind of service without any concern for itself. What's wrong with that picture? What's wrong with that picture is that part of yourself only does action for the sake of the result. For itself. What? The self that's doing that action, this relative self, what? Wants a result. That's why he's doing it. And he or she thinks that what? By doing that he's going to get moksha. I one time when I was younger, I was taking a friend. It was even before that. A long, long time ago, I was in the Muktananda ashram in Ganeshpuri. And the clipboard gals who ran the ashram, they were like Nazis, I tell you, spiritual Nazis. Believe me, huh? You like, huh? Hey, everybody, you got to behave there. Or there's eyes watching you, and they'll let you know right away. And they didn't like me for various reasons. Yeah, I could understand it. So they always gave me the dirtiest jobs. You know, they had a really, really nasty, we had to do karma yoga. See, that was part of the thing. You have to do karma yoga. Karma yoga is the biggest scam in the spiritual world. Honestly. The way it's understood, it's a huge, huge scam to get free labor out of foolish people. That's how you build these big institutions. Karma yoga. Absolutely, it's a total scam. And it blew my mind how blatant they were with it there, because they give me these dirty jobs. Like the toilets were the dirtiest toilets, I had to clean them. You know, taking the manure out, you know, from the cows and all that, I had to do that. And the one they really liked to give me was cleaning these big pots and pans, because there were hundreds of people there, and they had these huge cooking pots, and they'd always burn them. So they were really crusty and ugly, and they were huge and unwieldy and heavy, and it was a really nasty job. And so I would get that job. Actually, they were punishing me because Baba Muktananda gave me a hat the first day I came there, and they got jealous. They were saying, "Oh, why did Baba give him that hat? I made that hat. That was a special hat. That was for Baba, and he gave it to Ram. And I've been here 4 years working my butt off, and I didn't get a hat, but Ram got a hat on the first day." No, it was. That's how they were thinking. Baba liked me, and he asked me a question. I gave him a good answer, and he gave me a hat. And it was a real honor to get a hat from Baba, you see. He had a whole stack of hats, because everybody, he loved these little funny little hats. And so everybody's making him these beautiful hats, and he couldn't wear them all, so he'd give them away. And it was a huge honor to get a hat from Baba. And so I got one on the first day. I really didn't even care. I already knew who I was, and I happened to be the disciple of a guru that Baba really respected. And when I told him who I was and where I'd come from, and he asked me who I was, I said, "I'm the infinite Brahman." He loved that so much, he just grabbed a hat and put it on me. That was a big mistake. I made a big mistake. Because the gals that were watching, okay, we'll get this guy. So they gave me this dirty job in the kitchen. It was hot in there, and it was awful. And on the wall, in front of this big stainless steel sink that I had to work at, was a sign. And on the sign it said, 1 hour of karma yoga, seva, burns up 1 lifetime of karma. That Ganesh Puri, I don't know if you've been there. Huh? It's full of gold and jewels and fancy stuff, and boy, that's upscale stuff. They got free labor and a lot of it. Not anymore. The whole thing's kind of collapsed since Baba's sex problems got on the internet. But at one time they were super rich, and it was just a huge thing. They owned all these great things all over the world, these beautiful buildings and stuff. Guru Mai had all this designer clothing, and it was amazing, the kind of wealth that they had. And it was all just built on slave labor, on karma yoga. And because you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for God. Meanwhile, there's a whole bunch of people living off of the wealth and manipulating the whole system. It was really a corrupt institution. It was all based upon this karma yoga. And people believe, look, but there's no such thing as selfless service. Even if you're helping people, or doing something for somebody else, you're doing it for yourself. First of all, because everybody is yourself. And secondly, because it pleases you to, think you're doing karma yoga. So you're still only doing it for yourself. Even if you're giving away everything to the poor, you're still doing it for yourself. So karma yoga doesn't mean it's selfless service. Let's just get this out of the way. Karma yoga has nothing to do with selfless service. Karma yoga is for the self, because there's only the self. And what? Karma yoga is an attitude that you take with respect to action and its results that purifies your subtle body. Okay? He said a lot of erroneous notions, and that's the big one. So when they tell you to do karma yoga, think about it. There's always a clever guru there. Religions, the same with religions. Look at these religions. They just tell you you're going to get to heaven. It's the same idea. You do all this good stuff for God, you get to heaven. In the meanwhile, all these televangelists and all these people are spending millions, living in great things, and you're just down there just doing all this scut work in the basement. So these big guys, these big spiritual people can live high on the hog. That's not karma yoga. Karma yoga has nothing to do with that. We'll see.